right? Should I do a new intro?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, everyone? It's Liam, back at it again with my favorite person ever.
Toke?
Well, yeah, Toke's here too, but I was talking about you.
Oh, hi guys, I'm Claire.
This is Claire. She's my wife, and she is the best.
I am 24 years old. I am...
I love you.
I love you so much, babe.
So, in my past video, I talking with my wife's alter, Kyle, and I never really mentioned that my wife here is diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, which means she's got multiples in her, and a whole lot of them. And they're all my favorite, like I said. So this video was requested, and it's going to be talking about how to support and love and care for someone with a mental illness when you also are trying to deal with your own issues and problems and everything like that. If Claire and Fam's on my channel, they're going to be introducing themselves for who they are. So
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead?
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Claire. I am the host of the Claire and Fam system. I'm 24, and my pronouns are she, her. And if you'd like to figure out what the heck dissociative identity disorder is, head to my channel.
Yes,
we made
please.
a part 2 of this video, and it'll be linked right up here.
Or there. And everything will be linked below. So please take a minute and check it out. After this, before this, during this. We got time.
So, dissociative identity disorder is a trauma-based disorder that has a lot to do with panic attacks, depression, and anxiety. And Liam here helps me out so much with every single one of those aspects in a very supportive and validating way.
I've always been a really loyal person, and one of my biggest values is the name of the thing.
Yeah.
Lay down. What's that? What's that? Lay down.
Lay down, baby.
I mean, we both have been in enough relationships to know what we wanted and what we didn't want. And just in our family experiences too, we knew what we wanted for our future and the type of connection we wanted for the rest of our life. And we weren't going to settle for anything less, pretty much. Toke's being so dang cute.
She loves her family.
I love my family.
A big value of being all or nothing is truly just supporting your spouse through whatever. Through his transition, I had to support Liam, but I did unconditionally. Even being someone that identified and fought for the label and identity of lesbian for so long, to think, oh, I'm going to be dating a man or someone that appears man in society or masculine. I support Liam all or nothing with his transition. To me, it didn't matter if he wanted to be a male or non-binary, whatever it was, I supported him fully just because he's my partner. That's all it took. They didn't have to convince me of anything. I had to get over any uncomfortabilities I had about identifying as bisexual or straight in my future, because I think that's a little bit more validating to his, how he identifies. But literally, I had no other choice. My value is all or nothing. Now, with that being said, it really wasn't hard to support him because I knew who he was the entire time. I could see this person inside of him, and that's why we fell in love.
Yeah, and I think we both decided beforehand that those were the conditions of our relationship. If you don't support the other one 100%, then what's the point even of being together?
No matter what, I could shave my head and they would support it. I could say I believe in ghosts and they would support it. And I said I have voices in my head and they supported me. Without that support, I don't think I would have gone to therapy, and I don't think I would have been as accepting to the parts inside of me that truly needed acceptance, because they've only ever known abuse.
For me, I've had a lot of experience with mental health issues in my family history. I've heard a lot about it through personal experience and other people's experience, and my own just dealing with anxiety on a high level. If there's anything I've learned from stories of the past, it's that they waited too long to seek for help because they did not feel support from the people in their life, the people they call family.
Or even themselves. A lot of self-judgment is taught to us in this culture, and it's completely wrong. Nothing you feel is wrong. There are behaviors that aren't acceptable, but nothing you feel is wrong. And something about Liam is he validates that and knows that. I also validate that within him. It's a little bit harder on my part. I have some persecuting sides, but we're working on it, right?
Definitely.
It's all we can do.
Yes, and we have some really great tips to combat rage and everything like that in her video, part 2. Don't forget to check that out, like we mentioned below.
Yes. So, I do have a couple questions for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Being someone who's also sensitive and stands up for themselves, how does it feel when I might be triggered and I say some pretty negative or nasty stuff to you that you know I don't mean? How do you deal with that?
I'll admit it was difficult in the beginning to get past my own emotions and feelings, because I am someone, I think, that also experiences emotions at a pretty high level. I don't think as high as Claire, but I would say higher than average, I
Because
guess.
emotional sensitivity is on a spectrum, which we also go through in my video.
Right, yes. You need knowledge. Check it out. And it's a lot easier to get to the root of the issue, because I think a lot of the time it's human nature to think that you're the issue, that you're the problem, why everybody else is angry. So you get defensive and try and defend yourself like you're the root cause, but that's never really what the root cause is.
Not for us.
No, a lot of the times it's past experiences that I'm having to communicate through. So keeping that in mind, knowing that I'm not the enemy, that the enemy is someone else, that we have to both fight that enemy, that it's not her fighting me.
We're not fighting each other. We're both fighting a trigger or combating emotional sensitivity.
Mm-hmm. And for me personally, I feel really blessed to start my transition and be transgender, because starting T alone has helped regulate my emotions so I can better help her regulate hers. In the past, I would feel like more escalated emotions in situations
That you didn't feel belonged to you.
that, yes, I did not feel like I was in control of. I feel like now that I'm able to be more comfortable in my own skin, it's a lot easier for me to look at the situation as a whole.
If you guys have noticed, I'm a little distracted. That's what dissociation is called.
Because I'm talking.
That's because there's some bugs and I'm a little itchy. So please go check out my channel to figure out why Liam has to take such great care of me. He's the best, you guys. Please like, follow, subscribe, comment, everything you can to all his accounts, because this is the best person I've ever met in my entire life. And first and foremost, they're my soulmate. Second, they're my husband. But third, they're my best friend. Okay, you guys? So you have to follow them.
I love my #1 fan so much.
One thing I have to say to other women or any human being experiencing high emotions such as borderline personality disorder, a couple of my alters do struggle with that as well. Just such extreme emotions and black and white thinking someone either fully loves me, and if they don't, 100% they hate me. One thing I've been learning about is a dialect. Two things can be happening at once. So your husband can completely be mad at you, but they still love you. Those two things can still happen together. You can be really hypersensitive and still have logical thinking. But when we get stuck in that black and white, I'm gonna choose just one over the other. I think that's especially for me when the triggers come in and we spiral down. Liam's really, really helpful at showing me the gray areas. I call him my Gandhi, my 50 Shades of Grey Gandhi, because he shows me that there's so many different versions of reality. And the ones that matter in your head aren't always the ones that matter to your relationship.
Completely. And validating every single one of those emotions, whether it's positive or negative, is really important because, you know, at the end of the day, especially for Claire, she knows what's right and wrong. You don't have to tell her. It's knowing why she's reacting this way and how to help those feelings subside in the future and avoid making the same mistakes we did in the past.
I think it's really important, even if you're feeling like someone's overreacting or like they need to calm down, to never use that kind of language with someone who's emotionally vulnerable, because like I mentioned in my part 2 video, that can actually biologically move someone farther into a higher volatile emotional sensitivity on the range. And if that's not what you want, that's just not the best way to push them. Liam's really great at just taking anything I'm blaming him with, and he just accepts. He doesn't believe it, but he accepts that that's not him, that I'm just mad in the moment, and that's something called willfulness. You have to give up your pride, guys.
Yeah.
You have to give it up. Even if it's just for that second. You can come back to how your partner or your friend made you feel after the fact, but we've got to all get to an emotionally stable place to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I find it really impossible if you're trying to fix the situation when you're only looking at what's happening in the situation. You definitely have to remove yourself and look at it as a whole for what it is.
Yes. And part 2, again, has tips for how to do that. We have safety and emergency plans. So go ahead and check out part 2 for a little bit more in-depth on how you can support your partner struggling with mental illness or body dysphoria or transitioning or just any traumatic situation that's happening in their life.
And
I'm so itchy!
yeah, we might have to go before we get any more bug bites. This has been really fun. Thanks for being on my channel.
Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting him. He's an amazing human being. Please share with your friends.
And please, please, please go check out part 2 because it is very interesting and definitely worth a watch. So, don't forget.
Peace!
Peace!
Okay, 1, 2, 3, peace.
1, 2.
Peace! Great day, you guys. Have a great night. You're beautiful, you're loved, you're valid. Everything you feel is real.
You tell him, baby.